In this episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief, which will soon be transitioning over to Everything Board Games podcast, I get the opportunity to sit down with Richard from Analog Game Studios to chat all about King of Indecision that's back on Kickstarter now. Then we'll see what is going on in Everything Board Games land, plus talk about a little bit of the giveaway we're doing over at thegiveawaygeek.com. But first, a message about our sponsor. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief, soon to be Everything Board Games, is proudly being powered by Games and their latest game, Starlight. Starlight is a solo, cooperative, campaign game for 1 to 4 players where you fight in space battles and explore a mysterious universe. At the time of this recording, Starlight is almost 1,000% funded. They were shooting for a $34,000 goal. Plus, during this time of uncertainty in the world, they're letting people know it's okay to back at $1 and letting us know that they'll keep the pledge manager open as long as humanly possible. So, if you need a new space game with awesome miniatures, check out Starlight and back it on Kickstarter through the 10th of April. Tell them Game Relief or Everything Board Games sent you in the comments on their Kickstarter. This episode is also proudly being powered by our long-term podcast sponsor, Arcane Wonders. When you leave space and enter our atmosphere again, you can dive into air, land, and sea, in which you achieve victory in the theaters of combat to win the war. In the midst of the greatest conflict humanity has ever known, victory will be claimed by the military that can overcome their enemies in every battleground. Do you have the skills to lead your nation's best and bravest in the air, land, and sea? In Air, Land, and Sea, 2 players battle for control over each theater of war by playing battle cards and strategically utilizing their special abilities to gain the advantage. Whoever controls the most theaters claims victory points, and the player who scores 12 victory points first wins the war. However, you do not have to continue a battle to the very end. Sometimes it may be in your best interest to withdraw in order to deny your opponent complete victory. In Air, Land, and Sea, a strategic withdrawal may lose you the battle to ultimately win the war. Buy Air, Land, and Sea today. Click the link in our show notes to find out where.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Welcome to Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, soon to transition over to the Everything Board Games podcast. Today we're pleased to bring you none other than the famous Richard from Analog Game Studios, who is back with the King of Indecision on Kickstarter. Is that right, Richard?
I don't know about famous, but yeah, we are back with King of Indecision.
Well, you're famous enough to me. I've seen you over and over again, so you're getting there, I guess.
It's good to be back on the show, actually. It's fun to hang out with you as usual. Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for being able to join us, especially with all the quick notice. Now, there's a lot of turmoil and stuff, or it seems like, in the world. What are you doing to stay safe and keep sane during these times, Richard?
Well, we chose to run a Kickstarter, actually. So that means we can't go anywhere anyway. We're too busy.
Oh, there you go. That's the way to do it, huh?
But no, I mean, seriously, we're just doing what we should do, which is keep a low profile, not interact with a lot of people, do the wash your hands and all that stuff when you have to go out and get groceries. That's about all you can do at the moment.
Most definitely. So what are you doing to keep playing games? Are you doing a lot of online stuff or playing solo player games, or how's that look right now for you, Richard?
No, I'm able to play games at home. I have a family which plays the odd board game, and also designing and developing new games that are coming down the pipe. So they need a lot of attention.
I bet that keeps you busy.
Yeah, sure does.
Speaking of being busy and whatnot, so you've relaunched or you came back to Kickstarter with King of Indecision. In case anybody's missed our last episode, it's been a little while. What can you tell us about this game, Richard?
This game is a real beautiful little gem by Joe Slack. It was a finalist in the Canadian Game Design Award for 2019, and it is beautiful. It's also, we brought back Michael Christopher, who's the artist for the game, and he really came through with a beautiful medieval theme to it, using a lot of tapestry, a lot of medieval imagery. But the best part about it is the suspense. You play this game and you're playing against the game itself, against the mechanic itself, and it raises the stakes and the suspense for during the 5 rounds of play, to the point where when the king changes his mind and he desires something else like peacocks instead of gold, then everyone just explodes and kind of and, if you bet right and if you timed your offer to the king right, you win that round, you get the most points, and you move on.
So it's competitive, but you're also going against the king as well?
Yeah, there is an element of that in pandemic, when you shuffle the cards and you don't know when that epidemic is going to hit. So that little feature is built into how the king seems to have a mind of his own. You never know what he's going to ask for. You never know when he's going to ask for it. But that exact mechanic is built into the game, which makes it kind of exciting, actually.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I was really intrigued last time we talked about it, and I've already backed King of Indecision on Kickstarter currently. So per se, me and you sat down to play King of Indecision. What's my turn gonna look like, Richard?
All right. That's the simplicity of the game, too. It's beautiful. You've got 6 things you can do, and you choose 3. So you can decide that you're going to explore, expand the board, as it were, because it's a modular game board with these hex tiles. And when you do so, for each hex tile you lay out, you add resources onto them. You can decide you're going to move, so move on to that hex tile afterwards, and you can decide to collect the resources. That's a third action right there. You can trade things at the market. So maybe you picked up some gold, but really the king is looking for white stallions right now. So you need to then trade up, and so you trade in 2 of your gold, say, for a single white stallion. So you're better able to offer, and the offering is key to the whole game. That's that fifth uh, turn, or the fifth action that you have, offering your um, uh, whatever it is that the king wants at the right time, and doing more of it than your competitors is what wins that round or gets the most points for that round. Finally, you can hire a worker as well, so you start out with 1, you can build up to 3 workers that you're able then to deploy as the game progresses. So 6 actions, you choose 3.
And is that why it's got indecision going on? Because I suffer from analysis paralysis, and there's 6 of them, and so I'd have to cut 3 out. How does this game play with those who suffer from analysis paralysis like me, Richard?
The other one who has analysis paralysis is the king himself, because he just doesn't know what the heck he wants, and it's just such a total change and surprise that happens suddenly. When we've watched players play this game, and it's literally been play tested hundreds of times now, nobody's really at a loss for what to do. There's always something you can do. There's always something that's going to move your strategy along the line. So we don't find that that's an issue. Um, we find more that people get very tense because you know you don't know when things are going to change suddenly.
So you almost got to be playing 2 or 3 strategies at the same time.
That'd be hard to do, but yeah, different players will adopt different strategies. They can be doing very different things to achieve the same objective, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what my wife does to beat me at Splendor and other games. Like, she has like 2 or 3 strategies, and if I do something, she'll rearrange her strategy or whatnot. That's why I always lose.
Nice, nice, way to go, wife.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much awesome. Now, how do you tell who wins? Whoever wins the most rounds, or how's that look, Richard?
All right, there's 5 rounds. For each round, the top 3 nobles, because you're one of the king's nobles, gets points, and you get more points for offering the most of whatever good that the king asks for. So you ask for gold. You are in the first round. I think it's you get 5 points. The second place player gets 3, and the third place player gets 1 point. And then that ramps up the points allocated for each round, right up to the fifth round, increase for each round as you go. So by I think the fifth round, you're looking at getting 12 points for first place, and so on.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Now, who's a champion, you or Joe?
He's pretty good because he designed the game. So I think I've won once, but maybe he let me win.
Oh, well, there you go. Now, how did it look for you to get him to come on the board with Analog Game Studios? How does that go down, getting to publish somebody else's game?
That was a long time ago. I was first interested in a solo game he had designed, and actually he's bringing that out later this year, I think, as a Kickstarter of his own. I chose not to go with that one, but I started playtesting this one at an event here in Toronto called Proto-TO, and I really liked it. I liked how the mechanic worked. It was a little different then in that you were betting to offer these resources to the king. But nonetheless, it had the same basic concept to it. And I played it quite a few times and then decided, hey, listen, Joe, what are you going to do with this game? I want to publish it. And he said, that sounds cool to me. And we just negotiated a good deal that we both were happy with. And here we are.
Awesome. And how does that look like after you guys negotiated the deal and stuff with publishers, working with designers? Do you collaborate a lot? Because sometimes a lot changes from when you get it, you take it in or whatnot.
Yeah, so I mean, we are responsible for the development of the game, so we handle all the art, direction, and creation. And I've got, as I said, Michael Christopher, who I really rely heavily on for a lot of that. We'll do a lot of playtesting during that time too to make sure that there's nothing broken. And when we discover that, we got to fix that. So typically, I will work with a designer. I prefer to work with a designer, but to the point that they feel comfortable. So some designers prefer to be more heavily involved, say, in the art direction, versus others are more, you take care of the artwork. I just want to be there for playtesting and validating all the rules and doing those sort of aspects to it. So it really depends on what the designer wants to do. I'm happy to work with them because they have to. It's a team effort after all, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Awesome. So this is the second time that King of Indecision's been on Kickstarter. What have you changed, either game-wise or Kickstarter campaign-wise, since last go-round, Richard?
I think we had a very high goal last time around, so too optimistic, I think, for the game. So that's one thing we definitely changed. We also changed a couple of things in the games. We found a card that was broken, and that was a neat surprise. I was actually playing it with Elisa, whom you know from the On Point game, and we discovered this card that resulted in nothing, which is not good. Um, we also upgraded and tweaked a bit of the artwork as well. So a lot is the same, but it's just a little better.
Anything else, like pledge levels or anything else?
We did add a retailer pledge level. We added a 2 game pledge level. Actually, we've had a couple of those backers come in. But otherwise, that's pretty similar to what we had first time around.
And does it seem to be faring better than last time, Richard?
It's a little tough at the moment because of the situation of uncertainty in the world. So, yeah, we're on track to fund, but it is, I think a lot of people are staying a little lower than usual for a Kickstarter. That's my impression.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. I understand what's going on, so that's a little rough, but I'm glad you're on track to fund. Now, speaking of the game and whatnot, King of Indecision, word on the street is you're doing a giveaway with us over at the giveawaygeek.com. What does one lucky listener or winner have a chance of winning?
They get an awesome game. It's a beautiful game. If you like medieval style, really bold and beautiful artwork, even hand drawn art by Michael this time around. We also like to make sure our game has quality components. So really good quality, and so we're using the same manufacturers for our previous games. So you get a copy of this brilliant game if you are the lucky winner.
Yeah, so a copy of King of Indecision, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome, and that's open to U.S. and Canadian backers, or well, U.S. and Canadian people who enter the contest. Is that right? I forget.
That's correct. I believe so.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so and we'll leave links in the show notes so people can go ahead and click on over to find out about it. Now, King, and you said you had some other things up your sleeve. Is there anything you can share us? Any secrets of games you might be coming out later on, Richard?
Ooh, we've got 3 more games this year that we're developing. One is a latte throwdown coffee themed dice throwing game. That is designed by Corey Keller out in Oklahoma. He's an actual barista, and he knows how to pour these beautiful latte patterns. But not only that, he's designed a few games, and we really like this one. He approached us about a year ago now, and I wasn't really that keen on dice games actually, but it's a lot of fun because you're throwing dice, trying to match the die numbers on each of these latte patterns, but there's some little strategies that you can apply by using your dice on these barista cards to change your dice that you rolled. So it's quite fun. Very quick game though, like 20 minutes for 4 people.
Well, that sounds fun. What any release or launch dates for that one?
June is when we want to bring that onto a Kickstarter.
Awesome. And anything else? I know there was we had some other games that are coming out, like On Point and something. I think we're waiting for our copies.
Yeah, that game is with the fulfillment agency in Georgia. They should be shipping it out next week.
Oh, awesome. That's even better.
All the American, yeah, all the American backers will be getting them very soon. I guess you could say the Canadians were lucky because our warehouse is in Canada, so they've already gone out. But you guys are next, and then the Europeans after that.
Oh, there you go. Awesome. Yeah, so that's exciting, and especially with what was it? What was the new game? The Baristo game or whatever?
Oh, yeah, Latte Throwdown.
Latte Throwdown. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is, yeah. It's a
Thank you.
unusual game. It's a coffee game. I think it's pretty ubiquitous too. People like coffee mostly.
Awesome. And speaking of fun, King of Indecision, it really sounds fun to me. I know just talking to you and Joe last time we had you on, and just talking, it made me want to back the game. And this looks exciting. And I love the art. I love the gameplay. It just sounds really exciting. How long do people have to back King of Indecision, Richard, if they want to jump on board?
You can you can jump in anytime. Sooner the better, but certainly we are going to keep this going until April 11th, which is the Easter weekend, actually. So on the Saturday, you better have your bid in to get a copy.
Okay, and you said the sooner the better. That's so we can reach the funding goal and hopefully get some stretch goals or something.
Well, yeah, exactly. We're looking at potentially then introducing cute, noble meeples. So custom meeples, like we did with Gnomes at Midnight when we have produced these little gnomes.
Well, there you go. So you heard it here on Getting Geeky with Gamer. Go ahead and get your pledges in. And if you're new to Kickstarter, remember nothing will be charged to your card until the campaign closes out on the 11th of April. So the sooner we get to that funding goal, the better off we will be. Well, yeah, I don't want to keep you all night, Richard, but I really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Gamer, soon to be the Everything Board Games podcast, to talk all about King of Indecision and some other things you're doing over there at Analog Game Studio. We really appreciate it, Richard.
Hey, listen, thank you, and congratulations on the Everything board games. That's really awesome news too.
I appreciate it. You have a good one, Richard.
Yeah, take care.
Now for something completely, well, kind of different.
Hey, it's Eric from Everything Board Games, and today I will be telling you a little bit about the game Battle Babies. Battle Babies was designed by Brandon Seeger, illustrated by Gabby Watson, published by Stuffed Horse Games, and it's a 2 to 4 player game and has a playtime of about 60 minutes. Battle Babies is a card-driven deck building game in which players build their baby armies to battle the other players' baby armies. On your turn, there will be 2 different phases. The action phase, which the main part of the game is in, and the cleanup phase. During the action phase, you will recruit babies from a common market to build your deck, buy battle plans, attack other players, or even lay out babies for defense in case you get attacked. Play will continue like this until there is only one player left, and that player is crowned the winner. It's a light, fast-paced game, even though the rulebook states that the game will last about an hour. I didn't find that to be true, though. It played much quicker than that for me. At least it felt like it, which is always a good sign. You should really check out the artwork for the game if you have a chance, because I think it's done in such a fun way. Seeing the different babies with their unique form is so entertaining. There are several things that Battle Babies does well, but as far as gameplay, it just missed for me. I'm sure there's an audience out there for it, but it wasn't me. And if you'd like to find out why, check out my Kickstarter preview at everythingboardgames.com. Until next time, everyone.
What was that? Well, my friend, that was a snippet of what you'll get over at everythingboardgames.com. Are you hunkering down to get over everything that's going on in the world today? Well, we are aiming to release a new review every day, Monday through Friday, during these trying times to help you find new games. If you're just now hearing about Everything Board Games, here's what we reviewed last week. Unwrapping That Gift Game by That Gift Game. A prize-winning review of Carroll County Cake Swap from Jealous Cat Games and 25th Century Games, as well as Ramping Up the Fun Drop Squad from Bush League Games, LLC. Plus, we did a excellent piece on Terraforming Mars iOS digital review from Asmodee Digital and FryxGames, Stronghold Games, who do the physical game. Plus, Strike a Pose, a Frozen Unicorns review from GameA Ltd. Like I said, we're aiming to bring out a review over there every day, Monday through Friday, so check out everythingboardgames.com. Besides the King of Indecision giveaway, we're currently running a giveaway for the game Escape from Flat Earth. Follow the link in the show notes or check it out on thegiveawaygeek.com before April 15th. Plus, next week we'll be launching several new giveaways, one of Starlight, who is one of the podcast sponsors, as well as one of the many tiny epic games that are out there. If you liked any of the games we talked about in today's episode, make sure you check out their Kickstarter campaigns to show them and us a little love. Backing them goes a long way. Plus, make sure to stay up to date on all the giveaways we're doing over at thegiveawaygeek.com. There will be at least 2 to 3 new giveaways going live over there next week. It's our least favorite time as well as yours. So until next episode, make sure you go ahead and get geeky, stay geeky, and bring others in the geek fold by sharing our episodes with others, as well as keeping up with the giveaways we're doing over at thegiveawaygeek.com. Game Relief out.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.